Alright then gang, so the next thing we're going to look at is forms. Now forms in Bootstrap have had a bit of a revamp in version 5, and there's actually now a dedicated forms section in the docs. Now a lot of the classes are the same as before, and they're still pretty simple to use. Form controls are for input fields and text areas, and there's a section on select dropdowns and a bunch of classes we can use for those. Checkboxes and radio buttons, etc, etc. In this video I'll be using a few examples of different form fields and classes, but not all of them, because that would take a whole series in itself. Maybe that's one for the future. So let's give this a crack in our code. So the form that we're going to create is going to be at the very bottom underneath the book reviews. So it's going to go right here. And like I said, we're not going to cover everything to do with forms. That would take forever. Instead, I'm going to show you just a few different classes, and it's these things right here, just for reference. All right, so let's start by creating a new section. This section is going to have an ID of contact, and that is the ID that the link at the top of the page is going to go to. So when we click on Get in Touch, it goes to the contact section at the bottom. Alright then, so the first thing I'm going to do inside this ID is a container. So div.container-lg. Alright, and inside that container, I'm first of all going to do the intro text and the title. So let me paste that in. We say text center, an h2, and then a p with the class of lead. And then after that, we want the form. Now, the form is also going to go inside the container, and we're going to put it inside a grid row. And even though there's only going to be one form element, there's not going to be two things left to right. Again, I'm putting this inside a grid so we can change the width of the form, how many columns it spans, dependent on the size of the browser. So let us first of all create this row. We'll say div.row, and also we'll apply some other classes. The other classes are going to be justify, content, center, so it always stays in a central column, and then also my-5 to apply a bit of margin. Alright, so the column itself, let me say div.col-lg-6, and what that means is that the element inside this is going to take up 6 columns of width for large screens and over, but before that, from extra small to large, it's going to be full width, 12 columns. Okay, so now inside this, we can create our form. So let me create a form tag first of all, and we don't need the action. We're not doing anything with the form. I'm just going to show you how you can create the front end here. So to begin with, we'll look at form control for an input and also form label. So let's start with the label like so, and we'll give this a class of form label. So form-label. Now this is going to be for the email field, so we'll say for email. That's going to be the ID of the input field associated with this label. So all we have to really do is give this a class of form label, and I'm going to say email address inside here. Now after that, we need the input field, so let's say input, and this is going to be of type email, or it could be text if you prefer. And then I'm going to say class is equal to, and it's going to be this one right here, form control. So let me grab that and paste it in, and that is going to style up our input for us. Now we can also add the ID so that it associates with the label. So ID is going to be equal to email, and then finally I'm going to add a placeholder, and that will say e.g. Mario at example.com. So all we have is the type, the class of form control, the ID, and the placeholder. So let me save this and preview. And if we scroll down, we should be able to see this form field. And it looks pretty nice, right? Okay, cool. Let's do another one. This is going to be for the person's name. So down here, we'll do another label. So this label is going to be for name. And then it's also going to have a class. So we'll say class, and that's going to be form-label again. And then inside here, we can say name, like so. And then we can do another input field. So input, the type is text. We need a class, and that is form-control. We also need an ID, which is the name. And then we also need a placeholder, and that's going to be equal to e.g. Mario. Okay, cool. So if we take a look at this, we should have two input fields now. We have the email address and the name. And don't worry too much about the spacing for now, we'll sort that out later. Alright then, so next up we're going to do a select field. So underneath this, I'm going to do another label because the select field is also going to have a label, and that is going to be for subject. That's what it's going to be called. And we need to give this a class equal to form-label again. And I'll say inside here, what is your question about? Alright, so below that, now we need the select field, and I'm just going to paste this in. So we have a typical select tag. We give it a class of form select and the ID of subject to associate it with the label, which has for equals subject. So this is the only class we apply to the select. And then inside we have options with values. We can say one of them is selected and then the text inside the options. So if I save this and preview, we can see this is the select field. So they all look pretty nice so far. Alright, so lastly, I'm going to do a text area. So let me come under the select. I'm going to do a label for the text area, and that is going to be for query. That's what we'll call the field. And I'm going to say your query, ... And then under that, or in fact, we need to give this a class. So the class is going to be equal to form-label. Under that, I'm going to do the text area. And this is going to have a class, if I can add that in, class right here. And we set that equal to form-control again. And then we can take off the cols and rows. What we can do is add in a style property just to give this a specific height. So I'm going to say height is about 140 pixels. So you can create a custom height for your text area. And then the name of this we don't really need for now. So I'll take that off. And the ID is going to be query. Okay, so if we take a look at this, then we should see down here the text area as well. Cool. So all this works. Now, I want to show you a couple of cool things. The first one is to do with this text area and to create what's known as a floating label. And that means that the label itself is inside the text area. When we click on this, it kind of moves up a little bit. So how do we do that? Well, all we have to do is create a div with a class of form-floating, like so. And inside that div, we place the text area, like so, and then the label underneath the text area this time. And we can take off this class because now it's going to be a floating label because it's inside this div with a class of form floating. When we place it inside here, it's for a floating label. And we place the label underneath the form control. So if I save this now, check this out. In fact, I'm going to take off this hash from the URL at the top so it doesn't keep scooting me up every time it refreshes. But if I scroll down, now we can see the label inside the text area. If I click on this, then we can type under the label. Looks pretty good, right? Okay, now we need some margin on this because it's right up to the one above it. So I'm going to apply margin bottom first of all, and that's going to be 4, and also margin top, and that's going to be 5. Now below this, we're also going to do a button. So let me do one final div with a class of mb-4, also text-center, and inside that we'll do a button. The type is going to be submit. And then also the class we need, which is btn, and it's going to be btn secondary, so the grey color. And then I'll just type submit for the text. And if we preview that, we should be able to see the button at the bottom as well. Awesome. So there's one more thing I want to show you, and that is input groups. So before we code anything, let me just give you an idea of what this is about. If we search for input group, we're going to get information about this, and you can see it looks like this. So we have some kind of weird label on the left or on the right or in the middle, and we could type the label in there instead if we wanted to. So all we have to do is create an input group div around the input itself and also the input group text. Now the input group text is the thing that's in this input group section on the left. So let's try this out with some of our form fields. I'll get rid of that space. And we're going to try it out with, if we go to our form, this thing right here, and this thing right here, and also the select as well. So then, and by the way, we're going to place icons on the left, not text. So we'll keep the labels and we'll place icons in the input group. So let's go to the top over here. This is the first input. And we're going to keep the label outside of the input group. So let me create a div. It's going to have a class, first of all, of MB-4, so we give it some margin bottom, and also input-group like so. And then all we do is we take the input, like so, and then we can place either input group text before this or after this. Now, if we place it before it, then it's going to be on the left. If we place it after, it will be on the right, but we can have both if you want. All right, so let's place it before the input. So I'll do a span with a class of input-group-text like so. And then inside that, we're going to add an icon. Now, if we go to the icons, we can search for an icon and it's going to be a person. So let me type person. And I want one that's filled. So this one will do. Let's grab that and we'll place it right here like so. Awesome. So if I preview this now, we can see this input group, and on the left we have this little person icon. Cool. Let's do the same for the name down here. So we need to, below the label, do a div with a class of input-group and also the margin bottom, so MB-4. And inside that, we take this input, and also we need something else which is like this. So let's grab that. And we want to paste it above the input. And this time we're not going to have a person. Instead, we'll have an icon called chat-write-dots-fill. And that looks something like this, a little speech bubble. All right, so then we'll have what is your question about? And in fact, I think the person would be better for this one, and this one would be better for here. We'll change the icons at the end. Let's just do it for now. So let's go down to the select one now and do another input group. So div.input-group. And inside that, we place the select like so. And also, by the way, we need the margin bottom, so MB-4. And then we need our span. So let me grab this one. I think that makes sense for the subject if we paste that in right here. Let's take a look. Yeah, that looks good for the subject. I think for the name, we want this one, the person. So let me go up to the top and grab the person icon and replace this one for the name. Save that, and we can see the person. Let's, for the top, do some kind of envelope or mail icon. Let's search for that if we can. Where have I gone? Getbootstrap.com. We need to go to icons. Okay, let me search for mail like so, and we'll go with envelope fill. So let me grab that one, and then we'll place it right here at the top. Save it, and let's preview. If we scroll down here, yep, that looks a lot better. Awesome. So there we go, my friends. That's forms. Again, loads more we can do with them, so definitely check out the docs. Next up, I'm going to show you how we can create tooltips.